श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि रामानुजदया पात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेंकटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकं लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां नीलातुङ्गस्तनगिरिशुद्धमुद्बोध्य कृष्णं पारार्त्यं स्वं श्रुतिशतशिरःसिद्धमध्यापयन्ति स्वोच्छिष्टायां सजनिगलिदं याबलाकृत्य भुङ्क्ते गोदा तस्यै नमैदमिदं भूय एवास्तु भूयः अन्नवयल पुதுவை ஆண்டாள் அரங்கற்கு பன்னு திருப்பாவை பல்பதியம் இன்னிசையால் பாடிக் கொடுத்தாள் நற்பாமாலை பூமாலை சூடிக் கொடுத்தாளை சொல்லே சூடிக் கொடுத்த சுடர்கொடியே தொல்பாவை பாடியருள வல்ல பல்வளையாய் நாடினீ வேங்கடவர்க்கென்ன விதி என்ற இம்மாற்றம் நாம் கடவா வண்ணமே நல்க. இந்த லாஸ்ட் பாசுரம் 11th Pasuram, Andal woke up the sleeping Gopika, calling, addressing her father, Kovalardam Porkodiye, with the father in mind, Kovalardam Porkodiye. She addressed with the father in mind. In this Pasuram, she talks about her brother. Kanaithilam katterumai kandru kirangi நினைத்து முலை வழியே நின்று பால் சோர நனைத்தில்லம் சேராக்கும் நற்செல்வன் தங்காய் பனித்தலை வீழனின் வாசல் கடை பற்றி சினத்தினால் தென்னிலங்கை கோமானைச் செற்ற மனத்துக்கு இனியானை பாடவும் நீ வாய்திரவாய் இனித்தான் எழுந்திரா இதென்ன பேருறக்கம் அனைத்தில்லத்தாரும் அனைத்து இல்லத்தாரும் அறிந்தேலோரெம்பாவாய். With the brother Narchelvan, that Narchelvan's sister Tangai, Swami Swami talks greatly about this Narchelvan, who is the brother of the Gopika. He is a very darling friend, Shishya, Dasan, servant of Krishna, like who Lakshmana is to Ramachandran. So what Lakshmana is to Rama, this Narchelvan is to Krishna. He had such a great Kaikarya Sri. He is a Narchelvan. So he possesses such great wealth of performing Kaikaryam to Krishna. Blessed one. So he had Brahma Anubhavam, Anubhava Parivaham, the most wonderful, blissful joy which he derives by serving Krishna. Here, this Narchelvan, he has lot of cows and calves and buffaloes because he's one of the cowherd folks. But he is engaged in Krishna Kainkaryam that moment. Kainkaryams are split into two, Ajna Kainkaryam, Anugnya Kainkaryam. Acharya says, when we do Sandhya Vandanam, whatever that needs to be performed as per Shastra mandatorily is called Ajna Kainkaryam. It is as commanded by the Lord and cannot be abandoned ever. Nitya Naimittika Karmam, the Tarpanams or Bhagavadaradhanam or Sandhya Vandanam, Brahma Yajnam, all these are mandatory karmas, Ajna Kainkaryam. Anugnya Kainkaryam is like doing for Bhagavad Preeti, going to the temple or doing Nama Sankirtanam, whatever, reading some scriptures. If one does not go to the temple due to some lack of time, for understandable reasons, Perumal will not be angry on that Chetanam. But when somebody goes to the temple but does not do Sandhya Vandanam, Perumal will be angry. So, Ajna Kainkaryam is a must. But when you are performing Sandhya Vandanam or Thiruvaradhanam, if a Bhagavata comes, if some elder comes, if there is some special event, Acharya arrives, then you have to first attend to them and freeze your Kainkaryam your duty frees. So you have to stop for a special event. So to attend to the Vishesha Kainkaryam. Here this brother Narchelvan dropped or left the buffaloes unmilked because he has to milk the buffaloes in the morning. But Krishna called him for Kainkaryam. So the rules of the Shastram are to perform Bhagavad Kainkaryam, Bhagavata Kainkaryam. So if it comes in between the Ajna Kainkaryam, then you have to finish that and go back to the Kainkaryam. So he stopped. Hence the buffaloes already were about to be milked. So they oozed milk out of the udder, and the whole place became shared, muddy. So this brother left the buffaloes unattended, and hence here Narchelvan Tangai Panithalai Veedanin Vaashal Kadaipatri. So here Nanaithu Illam Sherakum. This milk became completely wet, milk completely soiled. So here Unakku pani seithirukkum tavamudayen, Periyalvar says. So Andal performs Dharma Upadesam for us on the importance of conducting Nitya Kainkaryam, Naimittika Kainkaryam, Naimittika Karma, and rules to prioritize them. Bhagavata Acharya Kainkaryam comes into focus in between. If it comes, you have to freeze, finish that, and come back to the Nitya Karma. So here Narchelvan Tangai, hence that great person's sister. So she is a Uttama Adhikari. So here the most beautiful thing is this Pasuram Andal refers to, dedicated to Sri Rama. Note to Chuvarkam also, she talked about Kumbhakarna, who appears in Ramayana, but Rama was not referred. Here Aachi, she did refer to Rama, Sarngam Udaita Saramalai Pol, the arrows that come from the Rama's bow, where she requests Kanna or Indira to reign in the country in a manner in which the array of arrows will come from Rama's bow. So these are directly Sri Rama Avatar. This Pasuram directly Manattukku Iniya. In the Pasuram 24, he says, Shendrang Tennilangai Shetrai Tiril Potri. There also she refers to Rama. So Narchelvan, Kanaithilam, Kanaithu, Ilam, Kandri. So here the buffaloes out of sheer passion wants to give milk to the calves that keep on bellowing. Ninaithu mulai valiye nindrupal sola. The buffaloes think Ninaithu about the younger calf. Stand up and it comes out. The milk just comes out. The milk gets flooded so much so that it forms a muddy composition known as sherry and wets the whole house that belongs to Narchelvan. So here Andal refers to the inner meaning. The inner meaning in these Pasurams are so wonderful. Narchelvan Tangai, we have to group together the 11th and 12th Pasurams, Kattrikkaravai, Kanaithilam Katrenumai, to comprehend the Vishesha Sastrartham. We talked about Ajna Kainkaryam and Anujna Kainkaryam. And then here as per this slokam, Mulai Valiye Pal Sora, this Pasuram, the Yerumais, the buffalo's udder has four nipples. The Jnana Pal that flows through the four outlets are interpreted as Shruti, which is Vedas and Upanishad, Smriti, Itihasa Puranams, Agamam, Pancharatra Agamam, Divya Prabandham, milk, all these four. So here the Jnanam, the knowledge is obtained through these four. And the cattle, the cow and the buffaloes are like the acharyas. Vasal Kadaipatri. The gopis outside say they could have come inside and woke up the sleeping gopi. But they could not do so because the mutram was slushy. It was slippery. It was muddy with the overflowing milk. Hence they stay outside, holding their doorstep with the dew falling on their heads. Panithalai Veedan in Vasal Kadaipatri. It is the dew, the early morning dew falling on their heads, and they are at the entrance. Manatthukku iniyane. Kannukku iniyan is Krishnan. He is a feast for the eyes. Whereas Manatthukku iniyan, Ramyati iti Ramaha. Manatthukku is endearing to our mind. Rama, who has completed his Vibhava Avataram, could not be seen by the gopis. They can only think of his Audharyam. They can only think of his Gunams. When they have Raman in mind, they use Manatthukiniyan because they only could think of contemplating on Rama in their minds. They did not see him. Whereas they saw Krishna and his Leelas and his enchanting, beautiful figure, his form, his Rupam. So Kannukiniyan, sweet to the eyes. Narchelvam. Uttamur Swami says it is the auspicious wealth. This wealth is Prapatti, Sharanagati, which is superior to the Bhakti Yogam. So, Narchelvan is that Tapasvi, is that fortunate one who is blessed with Moksha Siddhi because of the Anushtanam of Sharanagati. Idanna Perurakam, how can you have such Ajnanam when you are the sister of that great person, the great friend of Krishna, great Dasan, servant of Krishna? Anaithillattarum arinde, that which should not be enjoyed by the mind alone, it should be talked about. Everybody should get to know. Everybody should be eligible to perform this rite. And so let us propagate to the world that rite is Prapatti. So here our Perkaranai Swami mentions in the inner meaning, Mother Mahalakshmi thinks always about her young children, the Jivatmas, and she feels so bad for our suffering and takes pity on us. She has so much daya on us, vatsalyam on us. She feeds us with the milk of jnanam through her breast, mulai valiyaga, abundantly until the heart of Chetanam is completely drenched. Nindru sora ninaithu sherakum, and the Jivatma becomes the possessor of the limitless ever-growing jnanam because of Mahalakshmi's vatsalyam. Oh beautiful lady, the sister of that wonderful Vishesha Jnanam, the sister of that person with such Vishesha Jnanam, please achieve through Pancha Samskaram, the initiation, that discriminatory power, the Vivekam, and discarding your Dehatma Brahmam, that this body is Atma. Discard that. Discard that Devatantra Brahmam, that other than Sriman Narayana, nobody else can grant you moksha. Take refuge at the sacred lotus feet of the Lord, who is the embodiment, personification of Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Amalam, Anandam. That Sharanagati removes all your papams, all the past sins. Teen is dusagum, it is bud like a blade of grass. It can be practiced by anyone, any jantu. Knowing how easy it is to practice, realizing that, please wake up. The Bhagavatas around you have known the Chana Pala Dayakam of the Sharanagati. The Bhagavatas who have assembled at your doorstep, they are aware of the smallest, grandest deed of performing Sharanagati. And as Krishna promised, that's what he is looking for. Why you alone have the tendency to stay in the darkness of samsara, samsaric afflictions, samsara kala ratri, the darkness? Why? Get up, join us, become a prapannan, perform Sharanagati. Adiyen, Acharyan Tiruvadigalai Sharanam. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkatesaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. Dhanyosmi.